Welcome to Webisode number 3 on Her Fashion Mind. This week we're talking about first impressions and just how much they count. Recently I was at a networking event in St. Petersburg specifically for women, and I realized just how important this topic is. Whether it is that you're creating that first impression of what to wear to a networking event or to an interview perhaps, it's thinking of that accessory that you're adding to your outfit. A classic dress or a neutral shoe. I'm standing in the executive offices of the Sarasota Sarasota store, and I'm actually wearing what I wore to my first interview. That first impression is very key. And as my dad has always said, if you want the corner office, dress for the corner office. So join me as I give you some great tips as to what to wear and how to create that extra polish for that first impression. I'm sitting here with no makeup on my face. You see the kind of sacrifices I make for you all, but there's a method to my madness. I'm standing with one of our Trish McEvoy experts, Nina Guy, and this especially because of one of the stats that Nina taught me last week, and that's about the polish that even just a little bit of makeup can add to your face. Nina, tell me what you learned.
I learned that actually recruiters hold a woman's physical appearance in pretty high regard still today. And regardless of the merits that you have accomplished, two women can go into an office for a job interview, and the one that has too much makeup on or not enough, well, neither one will get the job. So what I'm here to let you know is that your makeup does matter, and you can do it relatively quickly.
And I think you call it 5 minutes to fabulous?
Yes, 5 minutes to fabulous. You want to go for an effortlessly chic look. Something that looks like it didn't take a long time.
Okay. And I think you'd mentioned that was regardless of the career, right?
Yes, doesn't matter if you're working here at Saks Fifth Avenue, if you're selling medical products, if you're the CEO of a company, a doctor, a lawyer, you're a personification of who you are and what you do. So your face is the first thing that people are going to remember and the first thing that they're going to forget.
Ah, good point. Well, shall we get started?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Once you've completed step number 1 and added polish to your look via Trish McEvoy's 5 minutes to fabulous, it's time to start thinking about a few fashion do's and don'ts. Fashion do: wearing a fun party dress to an event like the SRQ Hot List on November 21st. Fashion don't: wearing a jacket with that party dress and thinking that you'll be taken seriously at a networking event with a group of professionals. Fashion do: pairing a classically cut monotone color jacket and dress. Fashion don't: showing your physical assets other than your brain at an interview. Step number 2 to creating that first impression is investing in your professional wardrobe, what we like to call the look. Here at Saks Fifth Avenue. A couple different ways to do that. I like to combine classics with pops of my own personality. Good way is with the jewelry. John Hardy 18 karat gold earrings. Notice the simple drop to them, nothing to embellish or over the top. Number 2 is your accessories, the handbags. Tory Burch tote, classic to be able to throw in papers. I tend to think of the tote as the female version to a man's briefcase. Then the shoes. Low in the heel height, Kate Spade, so I can be comfy while sitting at that interview. This look is set off by a black halo dress, one of my go-to brands for creating that first impression. Partially that's the price point, $3.90, even though it looks very luxe. The length, not too much leg or too much of my body showing. Notice the detail in the back as well too. Now comment on the blog and let me know, what is your go-to first impression piece, your power suit? And also check out my Pinterest and Instagram pages for some ideas, do's and don'ts, from the Saks Fifth Avenue Sarasota store to create that first impression. Stay tuned for look number 3. Fashion do: infusing your personality to a classic sheath dress with a fur wrap or a pop shoe, perhaps for wine, women, and shoes on November 15th. Fashion don't: confusing the interviewer as to whether she should offer you a job or a glass of champagne. Bubbly, anyone? Step number 3 to creating that first impression is adding that bit of punch personality to a neutral palette. There are multiple ways to be able to do that. It could be 1 with the makeup, Trish McEvoy, done by Nina Guy. 2 with the earrings, Palmolado 67, simple clean look of that earring. 3, that great scarf. I tend to like to do a top knot, just pulled halfway through and pinned. A certain marketing director adds a pop color with her scarves to her neutral palette outfit. 4, great tote bag. I kept it monotone with the great palette that I'm wearing because you can carry that from season to season. You can also throw your papers in that bag, toss and go. Next is the shoes that I'm wearing. Keto pumps, Low Heel by Stuart Weitzman will keep you comfy as you're walking around in the networking event. Also is your covering piece. You can add a great cape to it, so something that's going to give you a pop color, again, thinking about your personality, and it won't be too fitted to your body, or something a little bit more structured, and a Escada jacket as well. Notice the tone on tone of the dress I'm wearing. Now the neutral palette I've opted for is an Escada dress. The length is appropriate, I've opted to cover my arms, and it will translate well from season to season as I help build my look to create that first impression. Two great resources locally to do that are the Women's Resource Center or Dress for Success. They'll help you create that palette and build on your look. A lot of times I've even gone to go see Barbara Banks because she's also helped me through her photography, helped me create that first impression. So stay tuned for webisode number, what are we on? 4, I think, on Her Fashion Mind, and see what we're going to be up to next at Saks Fifth Avenue, Sarasota. Fashion Do, infusing your personality to a classic sheath dress with a fur wrap or a pop shoe, perhaps for Wine Women in Shoes on November 15th. Fashion Don't, confusing the interviewer as to whether she should offer you a job or a glass of champagne. Bubbly, anyone?